Panther people, what up? I'll let you know what Bryce Young and company have to do to set this fan base into a frenzy into the offseason. What's going on? You're watching Panthers Post. Thanks for joining. Couple of news and notes right now. Shout out to Jaycee Horn. Man plays almost a entire regular season, and then what happens? He makes a Pro Bowl. One of the best cornerbacks in the league right now. Of course, other guys are some alternates. Robert Hunt, does Chuba Hubbard, well deserved, but Jaycee Horn, arguably, it's not even an argument. I'm sorry. He was the best defensive player on this team. Maybe Derek Brown would have gotten a chance to make the Pro Bowl if he had lasted more than 2 games. But Jaycee Horn just proved to us and proved to the front office, in particular, Mr. Brant Tillis, that he is worth every penny. The man is going to be paid as the highest paid cornerback in the league, definitely now. Yesterday's price is not today's price, especially after the Pro Bowl. You would assume that they should have probably signed Jaycee to an extension before this news came out, but now you add Pro Bowl to it. Like it's only a matter of time. I don't know what the price tag is going to be. It's going to be a lot. It's going to surpass Patrick Surtain, no doubt. But yeah, it just goes to show that that's why it sucked so much early in the season when he was lost due to foot injuries, broken bones, whatever, that we knew the talent was there. He was an 8th overall pick, for gosh sakes, for a reason. And we see now, fully healthy against some of the best teams in the league this year, Kansas City Chiefs, the Philadelphia Eagles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, some of the best teams in the league. He shut their number 1 receivers down. So well-deserved Pro Bowl for him. Evan Newton, much maligned beat reporter for the Carolina Panthers. He's with ESPN. He put out a pretty lengthy year-end report, whether Bryce is going to be the guy or not, talking about his first 2 games of the season, how shit they were, and how he is right now. And if you take a look at some of the stats, Bryce Young is like the 11th ranked quarterback in the league right now, according to NFL.com. And the media types, the national media types are loving this because, as we talked about a million times before, Bryce Young was everybody's favorite son. And the fact that he is playing decent, if not really good football right now, people are very happy about that. But in this report, there are some interesting quotes that David Newton references. And I wonder if the other beat reporters are going to talk about this later, if they ever make the rounds on radio shows, in the post-game interviews, post-season interviews, that someone close to Bryce said that after the benching, that Dave, as in Dave Canales, stopped believing in Bryce. And that was a source close to Bryce Young. Who is that? Is it his dad? I'm almost certain it's his dad, because no one's talking right now. But could a source close to Bryce, you would assume that he would preface that by saying, players are not going to be named out of request for anonymity for complete disclosure about things happening, in the locker room. That normally precedes a quote like that, but it's just straight up sources close to Bryce. So is it his agent? Is it his parents? It is his trainer? Like, I don't know. I think the only person that strikes me, the only person who would say such a thing, is his dad. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Not saying it's a bad thing, because that's what it kind of looked like. And we saw it in those post-game interviews with Dave Canales. He was very non-committal on Bryce. We talked before how, he kind of likes the veteran quarterbacks. He liked, the Geno Smiths, the Baker Mayfields out there. Bryce Young, not really that. So I could see how the narrative can kind of build up, not just for people like myself, but also for people close to Bryce and care about him the most, a la his parents. Again, I don't know it's his mom or dad. In the moment, the way I see it, Dave doesn't believe in Bryce. I could see how that could be the feeling right then and there. But if he didn't believe in Bryce, he wouldn't be on the team. But there are also quotes that he talked about how he's going to find his way back into the team. And before he ever made that move, people thought it was a ridiculous thing to say for Dave Canales to say, Bryce Young will be back. This is not the end of the story for Bryce. Like, people are like, what are you talking about? This kid's clearly fragile. You just shaked his confidence even more. He had an awful season last year with Frank Reich, and here he is again with you, and you just bench him after 2 games. You tell me he's going to come back and actually ball out? Well, guess what? He came back, he didn't get traded, and he's been balling out. So, and I've said this before about Dave Canales, he is so positive, so stuck to his guns. And also, I think this is a part of it, the fact that he's good looking, and he's in shape, and he's well-spoken, and he's very charismatic, makes you not trust him. Makes you think he's kind of naive. And when he says things like that, you're like, okay, buddy, okay. Like, yeah, everything's great. Yeah, you're just going to wake up at 4 a.m. and you have a cold shower, and then you're going to do an infrared meditation period. Then you're going to do some HIIT workouts, and you're going to get 10,000 steps, blah, blah, blah. Sure. Then he actually does it. You're like, oh, you're actually for real. Like, that could be who Dave Canales is. Again, the story is yet to be written on him. He's only been here for less than a full season. But, he told us in these press conferences after he benched Bryce that Bryce will be back at some point. That's their idea, or at least that's what reporters were telling us, that Bryce at some point will be back in the season. And guess what? It happened due to unfortunate circumstances, but clearly during those 3 weeks, again, no one's really come out yet in terms of what exactly happened in those 3 weeks, how he was coached, how he was, talked to off the field, all that stuff. Something turned around, and Dave Canales, I guess, we haven't heard from this source close to Bryce, clearly does believe in Bryce, because after the Cardinals game, he said he's starting the rest of the year. And even according to also this report, so again, I don't know if this source close to Bryce is also feeding this information, but after the Dallas game, which is arguably in this stretch of games that Bryce has been back, was his worst game, career high in turnovers, fumbles, interceptions, that Canales went to Bryce personally and told him that he's the guy for the rest of the season. Like, he believes in him. So I guess that first clip, that's something you put on a headline, get people to click, and then you read the thing a little bit later that Dave Canales goes to him personally and wanted to tell Bryce and couldn't get into Monday without telling Bryce that he's the guy, he's doing great, he's doing awesome. You like Panthers Post? I love Panthers Post. If you really like Panthers Post and you also really like coffee, you can get both for the price of less than a cup of coffee. So for less than a cup of coffee in America, it's like $1.39 American, $2.99 Canadian. Our dollar sucks. I'm sorry, Canada. You can join the Panthers Post membership. With that, you get early access to videos. You get exclusive videos. And as we head into the draft season, I got myself a former NFL scout to talk to me about the guys on the roster and guys who he thinks he should be on the roster heading into the draft, heading into free agency. You're going to check that episode out, and you're only going to get it if you are a member. Less than $2 American to make that happen. Also, live chats. If you're watching this right now, it's Friday night live chats. The group is small. It's actually grown a bit. We got 13 members right now. We're small and mighty, just like Bryce. But we're doing a live chat. And during these live chats, things are going to happen. As you can probably notice, I have some new merch. I was good to myself on Christmas, as you should have been too. And I got myself some new stuff. And so with that, I got to get rid of some things. So during these live chats, just handing out Panthers merch. No money, just handing them out. If anything, I'm spending the money to send to you guys in America. And the Canada Post strike is done here in Canada, so it'll get to you quickly. So yes, click on the join button. So it says subscribe right here on the desktop, and then here, join, click it, and you're in the club. All right, let's talk about the game itself. I talked about how Jaycee Horn deservedly not playing because he's a little bit sore. Josie Jewell not playing. Obviously, Derek Brown's out for the year. DJ Johnson not playing. He sustained a concussion during a 2-car crash in Charlotte. Hopefully he has a speedy recovery. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully everyone else is okay in the other vehicle. So on top of that, our defense is already poor. Now they're like dirt poor. They're like food bank poor. And so our defense is awful. Up against a Falcons team with a rookie quarterback that is in his third start, I believe. He was a Heisman frontrunner, laser rocket arm, dual threat, got a great head on his shoulders. Everyone was confused why they picked him up because he's a starting caliber quarterback and also paid Kirk Cousins before that $100 million contract and Michael Penix. So I think with our defense being debilitated the way that it is, I think this is going to be an offensive shootout. And I think it's going to end the season on a high note for both franchises. Who wins? I don't know. It's going to be who kicks the field goal. And at this point, Younghoe Koo not playing, and Eddie Pinheiro not playing well. So I don't know who's going to end up winning this game. I hope it's the Carolina Panthers to ruin the Falcons' rest of their season. Like, I think everyone come away happy if the Panthers win in a shootout, and we're not going to the playoffs anyways, but we feel good about our quarterback, and then they're also not going to the playoffs, or they beat us, they go to the playoffs. But or if they lose, they still feel good about Michael Penix. He's clearly the future of the team. Obviously, they beat us, which is definitely a chance, no doubt, because our defense, again, is garbage. And they have guys like Drake London. They have guys like Richardson. Is that his last name? I don't really care about their team, but number 7. They got guys on their team. Daryl Morey. They got guys like him. They got guys like Drake London. We do not have guys like Drake London or Daryl Morey. We got Adam Thielen, who's been good, but we got Jalen Coker, who could step up again, and we got Xavier Leggett, who could also make us, have a lasting taste in our mouth heading into the offseason. But either way, if they end up winning, going to the postseason, they're going to be one and done anyway, so it doesn't matter. But they got a quarterback, I think, who can light up our defense, and it's going to be tough. And so the only other option is Bryce to do the same. And obviously, he started his pro career in Atlanta, got picked off twice by Jesse Bates in the same game, almost in the same type of throw, same type of spot. I think Bryce is not the kind of guy to go into that situation and think about that. I think he's just going to go and he's going to play, and I think he's going to ball out. I think everyone is going to want to go home on a high note. I don't think this is going to end on a whimper. I have a feeling that this is going to be an offensive powerhouse showing from both teams in the way that our defense is not going to be showing, so our offense is going to have to overcompensate. And I think guys like Xavier Leggett is going to shut the critics out, talking about his shit hands. I think he's going to come out firing. I think Jalen Colger is going to give him something to think about. I think Adam Thielen, this could very well be potentially how he's feeling his last game as a pro. You never know. I think he has one more year in his contract, but they can also try to bring him back as a veteran presence. I think he's great. I think David Moore, he's also fighting for a roster spot. Is he long for this team next year? So is he kind of auditioning for his next team, or could this also be someone like David Moore, who's had a very long career from his Seattle days to the Carolina Panthers, some spots in between? This could be his last game as a pro football player. Tommy Tremble playing for an extension, playing for something to show the brass that he deserves to be here with the Carolina Panthers team, because there's some good tight ends. There are some good. I've seen some mock drafts out there with the Carolina Panthers taking a tight end, trading down and taking a tight end in the first round to double up with JT Sanders. So everyone's got something to play for on the offense, no doubt. Obviously, the guys on the defense, there are going to be guys who are auditioning for other teams. There are going to be guys who probably not going to be in the league after this. But I think I'm kind of excited for this game. I hope that, as Kyle Lowry said with the Toronto Raptors during the championship run, just empty the clip, baby. This could be your last game. Empty the damn clip. If you're Bryce Young, you got, well, what is it? We got now February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So like 7 months before real football starts in training camp. Just empty the clip. Give them something to talk about in a good way this time around compared to last year. Give them something good to talk about. You know, Xavier Leggett, give them something good to talk about. Tell them that your hands are good. Tell them that the raccoon is digested. You did your thing. No more raccoon grease on your hands, on your arms, and you're good to go. You're going to play out. You're going to ball out. You're going to have a great time. Offensive line, Robert Hunt, you're a Pro Bowler. He's wearing the Guardian cap. I hope he has a great offseason and just lays people out. Pancake somebody. Use that thing to your advantage. Just headbutt a dude. Knock him out. Mike Boone, do you want to be on this team next year? It's a deep running back class in 2025. You got Chuba Hubbard, and we got our guy going to be on the sideline again with an ACL injury, unfortunately. So do you want to be on this team? I could see him drafting somebody. Are we going to get that Scatterboo guy at Arizona State? I think that would be hilarious. He doesn't drink, but he definitely strikes me as the brewery crowd, a.k.a. white running back, represent, half white running back. So I kind of appreciate that man does everything. And I think that he'd be a lot of fun as an offensive weapon. Either way, what I'm saying is I think this is going to be an offensive showcase. I think our offensive line, I think everyone has been locked in for a team that has had really nothing to play for in terms of postseason berth. And I'm impressed that the team has been locked in the way that has been locked in the last couple of games, because they could have easily thrown in the towel, not tried, as Coach Pierce said at Las Vegas, make business decisions. But guys aren't doing that. Guys are playing hard for Bryce, playing hard for Dave Canales, and I would like to see them do that all the way into the final whistle, fourth quarter, unless it's a blowout. You don't even is a blowout. Just keep playing. And I just think that's my rose-colored glasses looking into the last game of the season for a team that only has 4 wins. Try to get that dub. Try to get 5 wins. I don't care about the draft position. They'll make it happen no matter what. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. How do you feel about heading into this game? Do you think it's going to be an offensive showcase? I have a weird feeling that it could be. It could be a lot of offensive fireworks. I hope Bryce Young just airs that mother effer out. Let me know in the comments below. Join the membership. See you guys on Sunday.